All right, we are live on YouTube. I'm just waiting on the video to connect on my other monitor so that we can grab that link and put it in our free business mastermind group so that our community can join us live on Facebook Jesus, live on YouTube, and in the live comments. Okay, it is up. Let me grab this link. I think it didn't want to come up because I called it by the wrong name. It might be mad at me, but I'm sorry, YouTube. Let's see. Oh, wait. I didn't know I had changed my setup to be all of that. This is February, y'all, so I done changed some stuff. But we're gonna put that right there. I done changed it to include the whole name of the blog and all kind of stuff that I forgot about. Okay, let's paste this in here. All right, we waiting on it to cycle and paste and cycling. Boom, there we go. All right, let me make sure I can see this live chat over here on the YouTube side. And I can. So let's officially get started. Y'all might notice a little something different about my intro this morning because I'm going all in on the DEI because them my folks. Okay, so welcome to your first Six Figures morning show, where every show is intentionally more of an interactive coaching and training experience to position Black and brown female online service-based entrepreneurs to generate your first six figures by learning how to make the money and create time freedom. This week's blog is at shaycannon.com/brand. That's shaycannon.com/brand, because what we're talking about this week is build a professional brand with these insider secrets. Let me go off script for a moment, as I often do. This week, I think I told y'all about 3 weeks ago that my goal for 2025 was to be on no less than 48 podcasts. Okay. That averages to be about one podcast a week in a 4-week month, because y'all know I don't do nothing on that fifth week, right? So I already have 4 podcasts scheduled for this week, one of which is today. One is Thursday, and then I got some coming in, trickling in the rest of the month. And I even have some scheduled all the way up until April. And what I have noticed is time and time again, when they ask me for my speaker assets, my brand assets, they are always uber excited when they get how I have my stuff. Okay. And so this week, I want to help you guys to build a professional brand with my insider secrets. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about. So let's get into the actual blog. In the world of high visibility entrepreneurship, where media features, speaking engagements, and industry recognition sets thought leaders apart, your brand is not just a logo, it's a statement, okay? Every detail from your visuals to your messaging either elevates your authority or signals inconsistency. And I hope you see my face because, okay? The most sought after experts don't just show up, they show up polished, professional, and unmistakably on brand at every touch point. If you want to be taken seriously as a speaker, a media personality, or industry authority, it's time to refine the small but powerful details that make your brand unforgettable. I'm pulling back the curtain on the insider secrets that transform a scattered presence into a cohesive professional brand that commands attention. All right. So the first thing we're going to look at as a strategy this week is your written brand. Okay. Did you even know that you had a written brand? I purposely started with this because I bet you don't even think about this. Okay. So imagine every time you go into a restaurant, the menu looks different. The categories are in different places. Okay. They use different type and size fonts. They use feature different types of food, etc. Right? One day they're Italian, and next day they're Mexican. It would feel chaotic, right? So it would even be hard to become familiar with the restaurant because you don't know what to expect. All right. So that same lack of consistency can undermine your brand's credibility. Written brand protocols, the rules that govern how your brand communicates across platforms, ensure that everything from your website to your social media to your marketing materials presents a cohesive professional feel. All right. With fonts and messaging elements follow a clear, intentional standard, your brand becomes instantly recognizable and trustworthy. Because don't forget, we're trying to build like, know, and trust so that people will spend money with us, so that they will invest in themselves through us. Okay. It's hard to trust somebody who their stuff is all over the place. So this level of detail makes it easier for audiences, media outlets, and event organizers to see you as an expert. When your brand looks and feels polished at every touch point, it signals that you're not just another entrepreneur, you're a thought leader worth paying attention to. All right. So that's the blog. But y'all know this is the morning show. And the morning show, we give you more, right? We give you more. So let's see. Heather say our new member Sasha is on YouTube. Hey Sasha, we don't see you saying nothing, but say good morning, Sasha. Good morning. Good morning. All right. I have 10 strategies, okay, for you to have a better written brand. And I promise you, some of these you may not have thought about, okay? I'm going to start with something easy. Fonts, okay? F-O-N-T in case the Alabama gets in the way. And I've been listening to country music this morning, so the Alabama just might get in the way, all right? Shout out to what that little girl name is. I've been listening to her all day, and I forgot her name. But Ella or something, I forget it. She's from Alabama. Don't worry about it. Alabama roots. Okay, number one, fonts. More than just your logo, but guided by the fonts that make up your logo. Okay. Use a cohesive font style and type for your marketing copy. Okay. I don't know if you've seen my logo. However, I use different fonts. I use a script, right? I use kind of a thin, we're going to say sans Arial type font. And then I use a thicker font. So those are, and the thin font and the thick font is the same actual font type. It's just styled differently. Sometimes I use, instead of just bold, I might use italics. So that's what I mean by style. Type is the name of the font. Style is like the formatting that you're using the font, okay? So you can use this different stuff, but if you use it to be recognizable, I got about, I'm going to pull up my Canva because I know every time I come out with a brand, every time I come out with an offer, every time I come out with a workshop, anything I come out with, I use my same fonts, the styles and the different types. Let me see if I can find it in here really quick. I should have had that up because I should have known I was going to want to show it out. I want to show it. Oh, y'all didn't sign up for this concert, and y'all know I would charge you for the tickets, and you didn't even ask. Okay, let's see. You know what? I can just go into brand. Let me share my screen. All right, it should be showing, okay, brand fonts. I have a brand kit inside of my my Canva because I have a paid Canva. And so I don't know if y'all can see this, but I tend to use these same fonts. We're not going to talk about color today because color is tomorrow, but I use the same fonts. So this is thin, this is a little bold, this is a script. So I use the same fonts for all of my logos that I have. Show more. Don't y'all worry about that. Some of that stuff is old, but I use the same fonts, and it's all governed by my base font, my main font, which is my name. Okay. So it's highly recognizable when you see my brands that it's going to be mine. It's going to be in my color. We'll talk about color tomorrow, but it's also going to be in these same fonts, in these same styles. Okay. So it goes to being recognizable. Now, let me go back to the more. So consider when you're talking about your fonts, I need y'all to consider the alignment with your brand. What is the look and feel of your brand? Okay, some of y'all fonts don't match the look and feel of the brand you're trying to have. You got a luxury brand and you got plain font. Okay, or you have a brand that's serious and your font looks like cartoon font or juvenile font, children's font. Make sure that it aligns. Okay, now what size should be used for your headers, for your body in the text, to emphasize. Let me see, do I still have my Canva up? Because again, in Canva, when you let's pull open another one of these. Let me go over here. Oh, it won't even let me. Let's go to a project. Y'all all in my little Canva business. That's all right. Let's go to these right here. Y'all gonna see these. These are our YouTube thumbnails for the week. All right. So when we have a thumbnail and we go to the text in Canva, Canva gives you 3 texts that you can put in here as your main text as soon as they pop up. Here we go. Okay. You can add a heading text, a subheading, and a body. These are the 3 texts you kind of want to have in mind. What is going to be the one that's always going to be in the title? Okay. What is going to be the one that kind of accentuates that? And what is going to be the one that's going to be the body of your text? You should have kind of a style that you use every time. Okay. So those are your 3, your header. Here we go. Your header, the body, and something to emphasize. Okay. I always use my script to emphasize, or I might use bold to emphasize. So know that. So that's fonts. Okay. We spent a while on fonts. I feel like it's time for the show to be over. Okay. Number 2, a cohesive username on your social media. This is a part of your written brand, how your username is spelled. Okay. You need to have the same username across all platforms. The same username across all platforms. See, some of y'all, and just know I love you, but I know you too. So some of y'all had a way that you wanted your name to appear, and any platform you can get it to appear that way, you use that. But on the platform where somebody took that from you, you named it something else close. No, they need to all be the same. Okay. So instead of, for example, my name being I am Shay Cannon over here, Shay Cannon over here, and the Shay Cannon over there, because Shay Cannon wasn't available everywhere, I changed it to Shay Cannon C.O.O. Now it's Shay Cannon C.O.O. everywhere. And when people say, where can people follow you? I say, oh, it's Shay Cannon C.O.O. everywhere. Some of y'all over there talking about, well, on Facebook is this, and on Instagram is that, and on TikTok is this. Well, ain't nobody gonna keep up with all that. And what you're doing is driving traffic to other people. That's what you're doing. Because when they don't remember which one you said, and they go and they find somebody else because you don't know how to be cohesive, you've driven traffic to somebody else's stuff. So one username. Get creative so it can be the same on all the platforms. All right. There we go. Capitalization. This is one of the ones I don't think y'all have thought about. Capitalization. Let me tell you how my OCD comes in with the capitalization. I have protocols on how words in my brand are spelled. Okay. How they are capitalized in lowercase. What do I mean by that? I mean, there are some things in your brand that need to appear capitalized in lowercase every time. Things like domain names, some of your usernames, things like your email addresses. Why? Because it's long and people are not readily identifying the words unless you capitalize the first letter of each one so they understand what it says quickly and easily. Okay. One of my clients, her domain or her URL is themobilesophisticate.com. Shout out to Leticia Austin. Okay. That themobilesophisticate.com as one line, all lowercase. It's not enough differentiation in there for me to figure out what that says quickly and easily. And guess what I'm going to do if it's not quick and easy? I'm not going to care enough to figure it out. And guess what's going to happen? I'm not going to remember it. Okay. So when you have different things going on like that, help the people out. Have a capitalization protocol, okay, so that it looks the same every time. It's easy to read and people can read it quickly. Okay. So when I write Shay Cannon C.O.O., the S is capitalized in Shay, the C is capitalized in Cannon, and the C.O.O. is capitalized. So it flows and people know what they're looking at. Now they might still think it's Shay Cannon cool, but that's them. I ain't got nothing to do with that part. But at least they know the Shay and the Cannon is different from the C.O.O. All right. Cool beans. The next thing, a hashtag strategy. Okay, a hashtag strategy. Along with popular keywords, creating some brand hashtags can add to the recognition of your posts, as well as group certain posts together as a series under your brand. Okay. Right now, for February, both of my clients, Dr. Tachi and Dr. Joffrey, I have going on for him Black Health Awareness Month is as a hashtag. to group all of those posts that's going to go out every day, all month long together. Okay, so it's a brand hashtag for us. Also, every one of our posts have one of two things. It's either going to have hashtag Shield Vitamins, which is the brand of vitamins, or it's going to have hashtag Shield Strong, which is our slogan. So you can do brand hashtags. For Leticia, for I Think Content, we got Fall in Love with Content is the hashtag for this month. Okay, for her overall brand, the Mobile Sophisticate, is Fall in Love with Tech is the hashtag for this month. So use hashtags to group series together, but also create some brand hashtags. One of my brand hashtags used to be Fractional C.O.O. Now it's first six figures. Okay, so do that. All right, number 5, your subject line. Did you know you can have a written protocol for your subject lines for your emails? Okay, you can set the rules for capitalization, for punctuation, for the use of emojis, right? And even use of the pre-header or that second subject line, okay? Now, for example, I have something eye-catching, something compelling and attractive as the main subject line, but I always have like my official brand name or official workshop name as the pre-header. So I might say something like, get ready to get your digital dollars, right? As something catchy as a subject line, but as the pre-header or that second subject line, it's going to have digital dollars workshop with Shay Cannon. And that's going to be there every time for every email that goes out for the workshop. That is the protocol for my subject lines. Okay. Also, when we're sending out subject lines, I love the use of emojis in the main subject line. It's more eye-catching is what I have learned from the research. Okay, so you can have protocols for your subject lines. Your email templates, okay, your email templates, whether it be for your newsletters or for your client emails, we need to start standardizing the format of these emails to be consistently professional. If you send the same type of email out often, then it needs to be formatted the same so people know where to find the different, sections of information. Okay, when you get the morning show in your inbox, it's formatted the same every morning. There's one with the thumbnail, and then there's the same paragraph that links to the either the YouTube channel if you hopping on in the morning, or to the replay and the show notes if it's the afternoon email. Stop switching stuff up like we talked about that menu in the restaurant. We want things to be predictable so that people aren't wasting life trying to figure out what's in this email, because let me tell you how they just gonna click out. Okay. Scripts. Okay. Scripts. Ready-made responses for inquiries, requests, complaints, and stuff like that can keep your brand on top of unexpected and would-be negative impacts efficiently. Okay. Scripts. I love a good script. Okay. So I don't just have email templates for things that go out all the time. I have scripts ready-made for the client support email, so that when assistants come in, they have things that they are able to say and things they are not able to say. I have told them what to say. They don't have to think about what to say. So they'll always be on brand because they're following the script. Okay. Number 9, tone and voice. You need to define whether your brand voice is formal, conversational, witty, authoritative, things like that. You need to define it. Okay. So that your style and tone and voice is recognizable. For example, my brand is intentionally super conversational and informal. I'm glad Heather is on here, because let me tell y'all how I get on Heather's nerves. I get on Heather's nerves so bad. Let me tell you. Okay, I get on her nerves because it's so informal. It makes her cringe. Why? Because I purposely write how I talk. I don't curve my Southernisms. Okay. And then if you know anything about Southern people, we tend to cut words off, leave words out, and I put all of that in the email. And I know she'd be over there like, God,
that's not actually 100% accurate. Mm-hmm. But
I think over time you've gotten over it because you see I'm not going to change. I really
there's
think
that part. But when you ask me to test things, right? You send me some, hey, can you test this out? And I'm like, do you know you have typos here? You're like, I do not care.
I'm like, did I ask you to
that's what makes my hair itch. That's what makes my hair itch. See?
Y'all see that? And do I care? No. Why? Because I want it set up to where I'm not over here having to be a perfectionist to get stuff out. Okay. I give enough information and I'm too much of an authority to worry about things like that. I don't get hung up on them. And I learned that from having male business besties. Let me tell you about Dr. Will. Dr. Will Moreland. He had, I think he had published 40 books by the age of 40. Okay. And it was funny because Dr. Will don't care about typos. Or he don't use editors. Now, I might not go that far for a book. Okay. But he don't use editors. Guess what he said? He said, I don't hire editors because y'all are my editors. He said, for free, y'all gonna email me and tell me what's wrong in the book, and then I'll go back and correct it. Because why? He gets the book out. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, I'd have made all this money by the time y'all release y'all's because y'all taking too long. Oh, okay. I'm not going to apply that to my book necessarily, but I will apply it to other types of written communication because I am human. And I don't want to be seen as anything less than human. Okay, come on to this human that has typos and words missing and sound and write like she sound and get this good knowledge. Okay, so and y'all know I even use cuss words sometimes because I mean I speak them, so why wouldn't I write them sometimes? So this lends heavily to the magic of readers hearing my voice when they read what I've written. Have y'all noticed that? Anything I write, I know y'all hear my voice. Why? Because hell, it's written like I talk, so of course. And look, there was a curse word. It just flew out, didn't it? All right, number 10, bullet points. Did you know bullet points can be used as a part of a written brand protocol, okay? You having predetermined use of bullet points can ensure value for your content. Let me give you some examples and see if you recognize this about my content, okay? So I usually have at least 2 to 3 bullet points for my video recaps for the short form videos, okay? There's always 4 bullet points to my blogs, right? And there are usually on this morning show, 10 bullet points for the show note strategies. So you can have a bullet point written protocol, all right? So the question is going to be, what written protocols do you have in place, if any? And if not, which ones would you definitely start using from our list of 10 today? We're going to start with Dr. Ayana. But first, I'm going to go back through the 10 without all the extra. Okay. So number 1 is fonts. Okay. FONTS in case the Alabama is in the way. Number 2, a cohesive username, the same one across all platforms. Number 3, a capitalization protocol. Number 4, a hashtag strategy. Number 5, subject line for your emails. Have a protocol for that or rules in place for that. Number 6, create email templates for the same type of email being sent out over and over again. Number 7, oh, I missed number 7, y'all. So let's talk about it now. Number 7 was your email signature. Standardizing how you and your team send off emails to give a polished and professional look and feel to your brand. For example, I usually have my name in script, almost like I wrote it, a signature. Then I have my name in print. Then I have my title. Then I have my company's name, the website, and the social media. And my team's emails all look the same. Okay. So you want, no matter what email is coming for your company, that email signature can be cohesive and follow a protocol. Okay. Some people even include like a YouTube video, some badges or awards. I even include sometimes, no, all the time, special hours of business because we only work from Monday through Thursday from 10 to 4 or 10 to 2, and it's in the email subject line. Okay. So that was that one. I'm sorry, I skipped that one. Number 8, scripts. Number 9, tone and voice. And then number 10, bullet points. All right. Now let's start with Dr. Ayana. Ayana. It's an A, y'all.
Good morning, God's children.
I know, right? Okay, so here's your question. What written protocols do you have in place, or which ones will you definitely start using?
Okay, my intention, I don't remember whether I mastered it or not, was to have the cohesive username. I need to go back and make sure of that. I think I still might need to do some tweaking on that one, but I will definitely start implementing hashtag and email signature. I like all of these, but those rise to the top for me. I love those two in particular, but I'm gonna use all of them. God, be truthful with you.
Oh, love it, love it. That's the goal for you. Use all of them, but we
Mhm.
sometimes we have to roll stuff out, a little at a time. Can't do all things at once, and so I
Right.
love that. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Let's go to Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, what written protocols do you have in place, or which ones will you definitely start using?
So you really hit the nail on the head for me when you talked about capitalization, because that's something I've always done. So if you look at media scope, the M is capitalized, the S is capitalized. Indie soup, the I is capitalized, the S is capitalized, because it's also a thing for people with disabilities. If you have visual impairment, it's going to be very difficult for you to tell the words, not to talk about those of us who don't have visual impairments, but those who do. So that was something I was also thinking about when doing that. So I always do the capitalization. But I think I need to, well, I have a question if you don't
Yes,
mind. With
please.
the standardized email signature, that is something that I'm starting to do as I do more emails.
Mhm.
How long is too long or too much information for an email signature?
What I'm gonna say is when first thing when you're asking how long something, you need to think of your ideal client. What's too long for them, right? So if I'm not your ideal client and you're asking me and I tell you, oh, more than 3 lines is too long for me, it don't matter if I'm not your ideal client. So first, always go back to what you know about your ideal client. Second, I will say you need to have a particular focus for your email signature, right? I wouldn't give it more than one or two highlights past the information they're supposed to get from my email signature, if that makes sense. Especially if it's words. Now, uh, if it is visual, like some people have, the seals or the badges down there. I can take more badges than I can take more words, if that makes sense. But there are people with like 2 YouTube links, which makes the preview video pop up at the bottom of the email. That's too damn much. I would say decide what you want the focus of the email signature to be. And understand that you can change out the email signature monthly, quarterly, you see what I'm saying? Yearly, to where it focuses on something different each time. So for those of us who are trying to get speaking gigs, and we might have one YouTube link down there to one of our best speaking gigs as a link, or a highlight reel, a speaker sizzle reel, as we change, and get better videos, we can change that link out. So I would say decide what you want to highlight on, because like most things, if you try to highlight everything, you're actually highlighting nothing. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you.
Cool beans. All right, all right. Um, all righty, let's go to Dr. Latoya, because the doctors is in the house today. Dr. Latoya, the question is, what written protocols do you have in place? And y'all, me and Dr. Latoya kind of alike, so I know she got some in place. And which ones will you you definitely start using from the list I gave today?
Well, I think so. Chi Healing Institute, the CHI is capital all the
Mhm.
time for me.
Okay.
And I've started to realize now that I'm hiring people
Mhm.
that I have to include that in the brand guide, because when people
You
send me
do.
stuff back, it'll be like capital C, lowercase HI. And I'm like, didn't you
Mhm.
see everything that I've ever sent to you? Those three things were capital. But that's my bad. I need to explicitly state that that's the expectation.
Yes.
The other thing for me and we all, my name drives me crazy when, because there's a space between the LA and the capital T.
Yes.
And so sometimes, it puts it on 2 lines, like it's two different words.
Mhm.
So that's the thing for me. So making those things for me, I'm always like, okay, let's make sure that those are consistent. Most recently, going since I've moved to go high level,
Mhm.
really focusing on the standardization of what the emails look like,
Yes.
and the newsletter. And I'm not going to call it my signature, but I guess it's more the footer, right? So now I'm including at the end of everything my picture in like a very short, like 30-word bio,
Okay.
um and then the call to action. So that's the thing that I'm doing consistently. I think what I need to be better at from the list is going through and solidifying my fonts. Although it's like on my website, I'm like, yes, these are the fonts. But then in the things that I put out in social media, these are the fonts. And then in email, these are the fonts. So it's like across categories, they're consistent, but they are not the same across the brand. And so I need to go and do that. And then the last one is the hashtags. Because I'm not huge in social media, I never think about, or I don't give energy or credence to the hashtags. But I recently hired a social media manager. Look at me, Shay. I hired a social media manager.
Girl,
Um, And
love
when
it.
she came back, she had these hashtags. And I was like, okay, these don't work because they're slightly off. You know, I get the idea, but it made me say, okay, nope, we're going to be doing hashtags. So now I need to make sure that they're actually linked to, what I'm trying to do and what I want to be out there. So those are the areas I'm focusing on.
Gotcha. No problem. No problem. All right. Let's go to Dewana. Dewana, what do you think about these written protocols? What you think about them?
I think they're all necessary so that because like you said in the beginning, people like simplicity, right? So if you keep everything simple, then it works. So I do use my fonts. I have a hashtag strategy. I don't know if y'all noticed on my page recently, especially with dealing with the hats, all of my hashtags are the same across the board. The capitalization protocol, I do use that in my band. Always the name is always the same as capital P, capital T, Primetime Band. Um, what I need to do more of, or what I want to start doing more of, are the signature templates and the signature templates. The email signature is going to be the same, so that's pretty consistent and cohesive as well. And bullet points.
Love it. Love it. Look, did y'all notice how I just basically asked Dewana what she want to share? Because let me tell y'all about Dewana. We start talking two businesses, Dewana would drop off and be like, I ain't got nothing to say about that. Click. So I just had to ask, hey, what you want to say about this here?
Right.
Because Dewana is getting more into this business thing. So some of this stuff, she's like, I ain't never heard of that. I ain't got nothing to say. I don't have anything to contribute.
Nothing to
you used
contribute.
say, Dewana?
Absolutely.
I have nothing to contribute.
Absolutely.
I'll start thinking about it. I don't know. Cool beans. Thank you, Dewana. All right, let's go to Cheryl. Cheryl, what written protocols do you have in place and which ones will you definitely start using?
Well, I'm excited about this because yesterday I spent time doing hashtag strategy. So if you see me on Facebook, that was the only place I did it because it took me a while to get the pictures and the what did you say, the protocols together. But for Black History Month, my hashtag strategy is hashtag my Black History. And I put a picture. I also realized while you were talking that I have protocols in my stories and on my Facebook page because I have like a blessing scripture, then I have the personal word, and then I have the flower. And it's consistent and people look for it. And they look for the flowers to be beautiful and exotic and something, that's just eye pleasing. But yesterday I put up a picture of the first African American ballerina who broke the color barrier. Oh goodness, what was her name? Anne Raven Wilkinson.
Okay.
And then I put up basically a quote from favorite African American activists and achievers, that kind of stuff. And I forgot what the third one was. And it's the other protocol on Facebook that I have is I do the play-by-play for Chiefs games, and they expect me to have these witty things and so on and so forth. And what I ended up doing one time that really went over well, and so I do it at major times, not all the time, and that is rewriting the words to a public domain song to fit the Chiefs. And I did one for Home on the Range, and then, well, me and Mrs. Jones is not public domain, but I rewrote it, me and Mr. Mahomes, and they loved it. And yesterday when I put up the protocol, I said, I want to see how it works with the hashtag strategy. Within maybe not quite an hour, over 30 people in my stories had responded, and it just kept going on. I haven't even checked it yet since I got up, but I checked in the middle of the night, and I mean, it was going. So, as you're talking about this, and I'm thinking, a lot of this stuff we're doing, and we don't even realize what we're doing. So now we can be intentional with it, and because even the content on my Facebook page, it's the protocol is content, and so it's consistent. And I was thinking yesterday, how can I do the stories on Instagram and then threads? And I figured out how I want to use threads, but now it's, what is the content? Well, you helped me with that when you tagged me to answer the question for whatever. So I've been in these groups answering questions and have gone to, like, what is it, top contributor, rising star contributor, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And over the weekend, I was actually able to help a young man who had been paying for Amazon, he thought, for Amazon ISBNs. And I said, when did they start charging for ISBNs? And he said, what? Have I been scammed? I said, most likely, because they don't. I said, but, let me check with Amazon and I'll get back with you. And it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So I put in a call. You know how you schedule a call to
Sarah,
Amazon?
come back to the hashtag. Come back to the hashtag.
Okay. Well, this is kind of what it is. My hashtag for that is I can help. And that's what we were, you see what I'm saying? So anyway, but thank you for this.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you. Keith is over here. Keith, something I said, Keith said he hated and he still uses the template that I gave him. He said he's going to start back using scripts. Hallelujah. Them scripts will save you, baby. Let me tell y'all how I don't even like to think anymore. I have between scripts and templates and chat GPT, I try my best not to use my brain on such simple things. All right, Shawana Kennedy Media, what written protocols do you have in place? Which ones will you definitely start using?
Actually, I use a number of these. What I do know that I have to do is really, it goes back to the SOP type of thing, where I need to make sure that anybody else that's touching my stuff, it's easier for them to follow this same protocol, because we do what we do. And so the only thing that was going to my mind is saying, I really have to even make this as a part of my own personal brand packaging for myself, not what I do with other people. I need to make sure that that is somewhere written for me. That's the overarching thing that was ringing out to me through all of this, because I do a number of all of everything that's been said so far. It's just really taking it and looking back for my own as a brand for me.
Yes, being intentional. Yes, I love that. Thank you, Shawana Kennedy. All right, let's go to Miss Shawana Mac Travel Agency. What written protocols do you have in place? Which ones will you definitely start using?
Right now, I got the capitalization. I capital M, the T, and the A, and also the tone of voice and the hashtags. What I like to improve is a cohesive username across the board. Also my strip, and I want to work on my fonts. I really want to change my logo, and then I don't know whether I should. That's the question I ask offline.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you no. Keep your logo the same and put all your and get all your fonts in line with the fonts of your logo.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's go to Dr. LaFera. Dr. LaFera, what written protocols do you have in place, and which ones will you definitely start using?
I have the capital. Excuse me.
Hey, I had to call on the Lord. You took so long. Okay, what'd you say?
I have the capitalization stuff down, and my name is cohesive across all the platforms.
Love it.
And let's see. My speaker reels have scripts, but I don't do the 3 to 4 bullet points. I'm working on that more. I've been doing that more lately. My email signatures need some work, because that's, some of the stuff is, what I used to mostly do and not the new stuff. And I have a script in my brand guide, but it doesn't necessarily fit. It doesn't necessarily show up because it's kind of like a thin script. So like I'm careful what I use it, but like I'm looking for other scripts right now that I could be using, and it kind of in the place of that one because um it doesn't really do me any good if I can't really use it because it's not easy to see. So those things.
Understood. But you already got some in place. I love that. I love that. All right. Thank you, Dr. LaFera. Heather, the question is, what written protocols do you have in place and which ones will you definitely start using?
Excuse me. I have new fonts and new colors that I got last year. So I was very excited about all of that. Now I'm just applying the fonts across the I'm sorry, I just saw Dr. Tachi's comment.
I know. Just try to ignore it.
Okay, sorry. My tone and voice, I think, goes back and forth because sometimes I'm taking on like reporter voice and then other times I'm myself, right? So I'm trying to figure out some melding of the two.
Yes.
So that's the one I want to work on, but I use ChatGPT to help with keywords and hashtags. I already use those pretty consistently. I have an email template and signature, so I feel like I'm okay on most of this, but I have to get more of less back and forth on the tone and voice between being a reporter and being myself. So
Understood. I kind of have like those bullet points I have down, right? Because I'm always wanting to make sure I give value. Now, creating storytelling around those bullet points is something I now have to focus on, which is why I found that tool and gave y'all access to that tool for storytelling or whatever. But yes, when you know that you need to go the next step with the quality of your stuff, you definitely have to start adding in things so that you do get that quality. So I love that. And Heather has introduced Sasha to us, and Sasha can't find the live chat. So she sent it to Heather because she wants to participate, and I freaking love it. All right. So Sasha said, I took notes, but this is so helpful, especially at the stage I'm at. I have the idea, but need to do basically everything. I can do these tasks as I build my brand instead of having to go back and change anything. And they are things I probably wouldn't have thought about. So very helpful. Well, let me tell you, your brand is a living, breathing thing, y'all. It's probably always going to be evolving and changing. So don't be afraid to let it grow. Just make sure that it's uniform and cohesive as it grows. Okay. So, all right. Anybody have y'all acting up in this comments? But anybody have any questions or value adds about a written protocol for your brand? Having a written brand. Did you even think about that? Like, you got any questions or any value adds? Anybody? What you got?
This is Cheryl. I have a question.
Okay.
How do you literally physically go in and change your name, your username on the platforms? I remember Dryer Buzz walked us through adding something to our username on Instagram, but for changing the name, I didn't really realize that was something you could really do. You were stuck with so and so number 689.
No, you can change it. You just can't from some platforms you can't change them often. Like they won't let you change like the same day or maybe even the same month or maybe even the same quarter, but you can definitely always change them. Now, what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna say Google it because now that Google has Gemini in there, it gives you step by step on how to do stuff. So I'm always Googling how to do stuff and the steps are right there. And so I got my two monitors. So I have the instructions up over here and then I'm over here following them over here. If you don't have two monitors, you can always pull the instructions up on your phone and then do it.
I got monitors. Okay, thank you.
And it's funny because my 3 monitors came in over the weekend. So y'all know I'm about to play it.
Wait a minute. I was doing your thing.
I'm ready.
I was doing your thing, Shay, of putting everything in my cart on Amazon, and I went over to Temu and bought it.
Yep.
It was savings for days.
Exactly. So if y'all don't want to deal with, non-DEI Jeff Bezos, put it in Timu. There you go. But anybody have any questions about today's topic on how we're going to keep your brand looking professional by having a written brand protocol? Or do you have any value adds? Tomorrow, we're going to talk about your bio. It's more to the bio than I think some of you guys are utilizing. So we're going to talk about that bio on tomorrow. Dewana says she loves this topic. Yes, I'm telling y'all, I'm a vessel. It came to me over the weekend. All right. This morning show is just one of the huge value adds of our free business mastermind. So we do have announcements for our members. As you saw, we had 10 strategies today. And so there's only 2 places you can get these strategies from my show notes. And that is, one, in the free business mastermind group. They live in the files section. Number 2, you can get the entire morning show in your email inbox by going to shaycannon.com/show. Okay, you'll get 2 emails every broadcast day, one in the morning to remind you to hop on the YouTube live, and one in the afternoon with a link to the replay and a link to the show notes. So go to shaycannon.com/show and sign up to get the morning show in your email inbox. All right, the February calendar for both the free business mastermind group and the paid quarterly CEO productivity membership groups, all of your February dates are out. So check them out. Put them on your calendar, all of the things, okay? In the free business mastermind group, they live in the featured section or the event section. For the paid membership, you guys know you have a member dashboard. All of that has been updated. Also, you can plug into the membership's Google Calendar. That has been updated, okay? On Thursday, we have this month's Collab Live. If you don't know what the Collab Live is, we have it in our free business our free business mastermind group, where I will do a Facebook Live into the group. All you need to bring is what you need to collaborate on to either make your business grow and better, or to make money, okay? And then you have also what you're willing to give in exchange, okay? It has to be a win-win. So that is a facilitated session. I'm not teaching anything. I'm not coaching anything. It's 30 minutes long. I will sit there for 30 minutes and repeat myself that you need to tell me what your collaboration is, because the value is you showing up and telling us what you need and telling us what you're willing to give in exchange, all right? Friday is a get shit done work session. The paid membership usually has 4 a month, but we let the free group come in on the Fridays toward the end. So get the details about the last half of the get shit done work session in the group. All right. If you want to find out more about me, your host, Shay Cannon, or how to join our free business mastermind group, look in the description below. Also, we give you good value. So what we need is for you to like this episode. Give us a thumbs up, all right? Also, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and understand that this session, this morning show is going to be one of a 4-part series. So make sure that you're checking out the other videos, all right? And with that, I want you to come back tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to talk about your bio. So right now, the studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll see you right back here on tomorrow. Have a great day.